So Proverbs 27:23 says, "Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds." I'm Coach Bobby Brown with Sober Life Right. What I do is I help people live their most amazing lives free from drugs and alcohol. I do that through one-on-one coaching. I do it hopefully through these videos. Try and share some of the things that I've learned in my life. I am a man in long-term recovery. What that means for me is that today I am living my most amazing life. I'm doing it free from drugs and alcohol. I've been doing that since July 22nd, 2021. I'm going through one of my top 5 favorite books of all time, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Got my copy right here. Absolute encyclopedia of information collected on what successful people do, some of their habits, some of the things that they live by. Today we're on chapter 21, which is all about keep score for success. So basically what this chapter is talking about is how the power of measuring things, and this is an idea that I have a business background. Ran independent car repair shops for close to 20 years, worked as a general manager, a regional manager, period of time where I was an owner operator, entrepreneur where I opened my own shop with a partner. And in the automotive business, we knew, what I learned was that there were certain things that if you measured them would tell you how your business was doing. And for us, it was pretty simple. You had, number one, you had your car count. How many vehicles are actually coming in the shop on a given day, week, month for you to work on. Obviously, more cars means more opportunities. And then the other was ticket average. That gave us an indication of how well were we inspecting cars, how well were our salespeople performing at explaining car repairs, how well were we overcoming objections, just from these two basic numbers. And then of course there was our sales number. Were we doing better in sales this year versus last year, last month versus this month? Where were we at in comparison to other stores? So having these numbers just by tracking things made things, it pushed performance just having these numbers. And we used to get a scorecard every morning, and it would have a breakdown of cars for the day, projected cars for the month, sales for the day. It would break down our ticket average. And these were some of the key performance indicators. We'd look at it, okay, even though they're just numbers and there's lots of reasons these could be there, they gave us a pretty good snapshot of how well we were doing. So I was thinking about that today as it relates to recovery and with coaching and some of the things that I measure, some of the things that I've heard others measure, some of the performance indicators of somebody that's got solid recovery, that's got a good chance of staying sober. One of the first things that comes to mind is something from my 12-step program. There's something you hear a lot of times, a suggestion in the rooms: make 90 meetings in 90 days. If you go to a 12-step meeting, spend an hour a day talking about recovery, being around people in recovery, odds are you're going to hear more about recovery. You're going to gain more information. You're going to build a different social circle. Your chances of success of staying in recovery are going to be much, much higher than somebody that, say, goes to a meeting once a week. I spent some time working with a sober living organization, and I got the chance to work with just an amazing individual, Nick Long, who, just a spiritual mentor for me. First off, the guy, this is the way he brought prayer into everything. Just an amazing lesson, something I'd never really experienced before. But one thing that a lot of people may not realize about Nick is that Nick tracked things, and Nick had a very strong desire to see people be successful in their recovery. And he spent a lot of time looking at the things that help people stay sober, You know, he felt like his assignment was to provide housing for as many people as possible to support their recovery. And he would look at things like, how many meetings does somebody need to go to? How important is it that they have a job by a certain point? Do they have a sponsor? And he would measure these things and track them, you know, and I got a chance to work with him for a short period of time, and I got to bring some of my knowledge with tracking numbers from my business experience in, and kind of help him set up some spreadsheets, and then he just took it to a whole nother level. So it's just an amazing experience. But as a result, you know, Nick started out with just one little location. He had this dream to do sober living. And now he's got, like, I don't even know how many beds, but he's become, as a recovery coach, one of the top places I recommend people to that are looking for supportive sober living housing in the Houston area. And just an amazing, amazing guy. The book goes through and it talks about a couple of different things. It talks about the importance of tracking what you want and not what you don't want. So, like, thinking about that, there's this principle that, like, if go back to the law of attraction, I did a video on this a while back, where it talks about our language and how we speak is real important, and how our mind can't tell the difference between a negative and a positive. So this is on the book. I don't even know if I covered this in the video, but this is part of the chapter. It's part of the law of attraction. One of the examples I've heard in the past is try and not think about a purple elephant. So if you heard that's impossible, you know, if I said that and you were listening, you thought of a purple elephant. Your mind can't tell the difference. It doesn't recognize the nots and the don'ts. So it's real important to track the things that you want to go towards success. One of the things I track in my own business, and my chance to go ahead and just kind of plug the book, you know, I track how many purchases I have as an Amazon affiliate. Right now it's 0. So you guys need to buy the book. You know, I am an Amazon affiliate. I'm doing these videos on the success principles. Go get your copy. If you look at my description, there's a link that'll take you directly to Amazon. If you purchase through my link, I get a small commission, which supports me and helps me to grow this and get out to more people. Although regardless, just get the book, this amazing book. If you read and apply it, it will, like, this book alone can change your life. I know it's had a huge, huge impact in my life. A lot of things you may already know, but there's bound to be some stuff that you either hadn't thought of or hadn't looked at in the same way. So highly recommend that. My business is still new, so I think about some of the importance of having goals that are measurable. You know, when you talk about creating SMART goals, like, one of the criteria for something to go from a wish to a goal is it's got to be measurable. You know, some of my goals right now, I have a goal in this 90-day sprint to spend an hour of quality time with 30 men that I admire, and I'm tracking that. You know, so far I've got it's 25 days in. I've got 6 men in my life that I admire that I've been able to spend a dedicated hour, just me and them. So I've still got a little ways to go, but by tracking it, I'll know where I am. By living the 90-day sprint lifestyle, instead of me having, hey, over this year, I'm going to spend time with 30 men, I'm going to do it in 90 days. I've got a greater sense of urgency. So as time progresses, my internal clock is very, very aware that I still have 24 men. So I'll have to start figuring ways to schedule that in. I'll have to reach out to people, and I'll have to make the arrangements. I'll make the time to actually spend this time with guys. And so that's a benefit of living this style of 90-day sprint lifestyle I live. So check out the book. I hope these videos are helpful to you. Like I said, this is principle number 21. If this is the first video you're seeing, there's 20-something other videos that you can check out. They build on each other, the principles do. So I you know, it's a lot to watch, but if I'm entertaining and if you're getting good content out of this, if you're getting good value out of it, then I hope you do, and I hope you subscribe, and I hope you share these, and I hope you leave me comments. And then if you are at a point where you're working on your life, you're sober, you've got this, you've kind of figured out how to do that, and you've got this life now where you're not drinking, you're not using drugs, and you're ready to start taking it to the next level. That could be in any area of your life. You want to build a better community. You want to be more successful in business. You want to have better relationships. You want to have a better family life. Whatever a more amazing life looks like to you. Okay. What I do as a coach is I can be somebody that is one in your corner. All right. That's on your side. Somebody that's working on their own life. Somebody who is positive and is there to help you kind of walk through how to figure out what an amazing life looks like, where you want to be, help you get real honest about where you're at now. We'll go through in a systematic way, and we will design something that meets your needs, but is still systematic to help you become the kind of person that gets to live that life. We'll look at things like mindsets and your skills and your habits that you've got on a daily basis. We will set up ways to keep you accountable and track these things. I will help you find all the right resources that you need to brush up and learn the skills. Help teach you how to build a community around you, put the team, the right people that are going to support this life, and do it in a quick way. I believe massive change can happen in as little as 90 days if you have focus, and if you have a solid plan, and if you have a way to stay accountable. So if that's something that is interesting to you, please comment coach, DM me directly, visit my website, soberliferight.com, book a discovery call. There's a lot of ways you can get in touch with me, and I love working with people that are very, very motivated to make changes in their life. Because if you have got that desire and that want, and you're willing to put in the work, and you want more, I believe we can do amazing things. My life is I absolutely love my life, and I didn't before. So thanks for watching these videos. I hope you got something out of it.